Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 11th episode of the Mugs and Mikes podcast. I am your host, Zeke, but I can never do this alone. I brought some friends with me. Luke, introduce yourself.
Hi, PewDiePie hit 69 million subscribers today. That's important.
Nomad is here as well.
Subscribe to PewDiePie.
What he said.
And Hack Game.
Hi people. I'm just here.
Are you subscribed to PewDiePie?
Yes.
Good. He passes the test.
All right, we'll keep him.
All right, so Zeke, what are we talking about today?
Well, I'm glad you asked. We're going to be educating the fine people here by talking about school just in general. We're just going to be giving some generic school kind of stories and stuff like that, our experiences with it.
Well, then we're not educating. We're just telling a story.
Well, we're educating.
Then again, that's all of history class. So, okay, I guess we're educating you in our past experiences. Prepare to be educated.
Probably learn more than you will in the past 5 years of English class.
Shots fired.
All right, so who wants to start this discussion?
Okay, I'll take it away. I've got a good, funny story to start off with. I'm gonna tell you guys about the time I almost got suspended from school, me and my friend.
Ooh.
Wow. This sounds like fun.
Yep, okay, so, this was my junior year of high school. Five Nights at Freddy's was still relatively new at the time. I think the third game was out by now. I could be mistaken, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was this was during exams. Me and my friend finished our algebra exams early, so we were messing around on the computers. The teacher didn't really care because a lot of my class finished early, actually. They gave us way more time than we needed, which was freaking awesome. I love it when they do that. So, earlier that year, one of my friends managed to get the first Five Nights at Freddy's game working on the school computers, because school computers, they normally have things you gotta bypass in order to get certain programs to work. Our school computers, they were easy to bypass everything. Like, they didn't even try. They did the bare bones security they had to, but because they were lazy, a quick little side note, I think they were actually lazy with trying to actually maintain these school computers, because they claimed that if your computer's on our network, we can look at your computer at any time, stare right at your screen. I'm like, that's gotta be a lie, because I've literally seen other students watching porn in the middle of class. This happened. Somebody was watching porn in the middle of one of the classes, and he never got caught. Never. So I think that whole "we can monitor your computers wirelessly" thing was bullshit. But I digress.
Wait.
So what?
So you guys managed to get Five Nights at Freddy's by downloading Steam onto the computer.
No. Someone had a cracked exe file of it.
Oh.
That's probably how they got it to work. But anyways, so I have Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm playing it on the computer. One of my friends oh, hey, it's Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm like, oh, you know this game? He's like, yeah, I saw Markiplier play some of it. I'm like, have you played it before? He's like, no. So I keep in mind, there were still a few people taking exams. So I'm just like, okay, all right, how about you play it? Don't worry, I'll help you out, bro. I'll help you out. So
God.
he starts off on night one. Night one's easy. He gets by it. Night two comes along. He's getting a little more nervous, okay, gotta be careful, gotta click the lights, watch out for Bunny, because he didn't know any of the characters' names. So at one point, the left door gets stuck. And for anybody who knows Five Nights at Freddy's, you know what the left door getting stuck means. Either Bonnie's gonna come scream in your face, or Foxy's gonna come give you a heart attack. So, but he didn't know that. He was clicking the door wait, why isn't it working? I'm like, he doesn't know. So, he had headphones in, by the way, actually. I forgot to mention that fact. He had, little earbuds into his computer as he's playing Five Nights at Freddy's. And, so I'm like, we might get in trouble, but this will be so worth it. So, maybe you should pull up your cameras. Maybe that'll unlock the door. So he pulls up the cameras for like a solid 10 seconds. He's like, okay, Freddy's there. Bonnie jump scares him. He jumps. I'm saying he like jumps. He almost knocked over the desk jumping so hard. And I was sitting there. I couldn't hold in my laughing. I was like, ah! So then, like, he was mad at me. He's looking at me like, you motherfucker. But then the teacher walks over to us and like, boys, will you please step outside the classroom? I'm like, oh shit. So I'm walking out the door. Like, I should be scared, but I can't help but laugh. And the teacher looks us right in the face, like, quit goofing off. There's still people taking the exams. I could report you, but I really don't feel like dealing with it. So, because also my school had some kind of policy where if somebody was caught cheating, apparently everybody in the room had to retake the test, which was obviously unfair.
Wow.
So the teachers didn't like that policy either. Nobody was on for that policy. So because of that policy, I did manage to get away with scaring my friend shitless in the middle of an exam. So victory for me, I guess. Honestly, kids, I don't recommend doing anything like this. I was pretty stupid back in high school. I could have ended up in serious trouble, to be fair. But I got away with it because I'm a lucky little bastard, I guess.
And that's why Bunny's the best animatronic.
Oh my god.
I mean, to be fair, who wasn't stupid and did stuff like that in high school?
Speaking of those...
some people were more extreme than others.
True. Like the time some guy ran headfirst into one of the windows and shattered it.
Wait, what?
What?
This is a story I need to hear.
It was... I couldn't really go into specific details because I wasn't there for it. All I heard... It was just lunch with one of my friends. He had his personal computer watching some YouTube videos. Next thing you know, you just hear smash. Walk over there, and you just see the window smashed.
Wow.
So,
I mean, that was...
So let me get this straight. You're just sitting there, you're eating your chicken nuggets or whatever. All of a sudden, smash!
Yes.
And then the window's broken to pieces. And then there's probably a guy laying on the floor like, oh, that was not worth $5. My head's bleeding. Was that an accurate depiction of the scenario?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Was he crying?
I don't know. I didn't see what happened to the guy.
Oh. Well, I bet he was crying.
Yeah, that's the thing with my high school. It was an interesting mix, you could say. It's in a more lower income part of town, but it's also the closest school to the rich kids neighborhood, so had a mix between the not as rich kids mixed in with the rich kids, and it was a toxic combination to say the least.
It's always a toxic combination. Like my school, I lived in the more rich part of town. Well, at least some of the kids from the richer part of town went to this school, and this school just was a freaking disaster because where should I even start? Like, okay, the best example I can think of is there was this one time where my school was hosting like a rave dance party. They called it like Neon Night, and a couple people were seen doing cocaine in the bathroom.
Okay, that's a great... I mean, what did they expect with Neon Night?
I don't know, but the last thing I would expect is like you people are going to be stupid enough to bring cocaine to a school-funded event. Like, are you trying to get suspended or something?
To be honest, I think the name Neon Night pretty much adds the final touch to when kids are doing cocaine. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So it's Neon Night, and you automatically think kids are gonna be doing cocaine?
Well, yeah. There's gonna be some kind of drugs involved.
I just think
there were others.
Touch,
like, that's not even the only one. There was There was another dance where a group of girls got so drunk they were like passing out and stuff. And they were like getting sick. They had to be like thrown out of the building, and they were like throwing up, and it was just a disaster.
And at my school, this was before the recent legalization. There'd be kids out in the parking lot just smoking weed right in front of the teachers.
Oh my gosh.
What?
This is the school policy. There's this little ditch right in between the school, in between the public parking lot and the school parking lot, and the policy is, whatever goes on past the ditch, the school can't punish you for it.
Oh my gosh. So they were smoking on the other side of that ditch while just saying, I dare you to do something.
Yeah, the teachers can't do shit about it.
Wow.
Mr. Hack, do you have any funny stories to tell?
If not, I got one more.
Okay, so going back to just me talking to GameCubeDude, you did mention that that you thought teachers wouldn't see your monitor or do anything about it if
Well,
they.
Yeah, because we were in the back corner of the classroom, so the teachers couldn't really see our laptop. So I felt a little freedom back there. I thought I could get away with it, but I didn't expect my friend to react that bad. But honestly, what should I have expected?
Well, okay, well, by like teachers looking at your monitor, I mean like an actual program that literally every teacher can look at. Like, literally.
Like how they could monitor the computers or something?
Mm-hmm. Like they have some sort of program in the computer.
Well, yeah, like I said, they claim to have something like that. They claim to be able to monitor our computers at any time and see what we're doing. But I called bullshit because, again, people were watching porn in class. Like, this happened multiple times.
Okay, so I have a small story to tell. This isn't exactly an experience for me. It's actually more my brother. So he failed chemistry around high school.
If I can add a quick comment, I don't blame him. Chemistry is fucking bullshit. Continue.
It is hard. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay, going back. So my brother failed chemistry. He has to go to night school. And from what I've heard from night school, you have to take these stupid quiz or assignments at the computer, completely boring. And one of the teachers went to my brother and he said, hey, I really don't want you to stay in night school. You're a great kid. You can practically cheat on this. And then my brother's like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I really want you to get out of night school as soon as possible. I don't like seeing you here, because it sounded like he really cares for him, right?
That sounds like a trap. That's what it sounded like.
And it kind of feels a bit cross-minded, thinking about whether they're tricking him or not, because in the next part, my brother did actually try cheating, like looking for the answers. And do you want to know what happened?
He got caught.
Well, yeah, but hear this though. My brother was looking up the answer. I don't know what happened, but my brother noticed the mouse cursor magically moves, closes a tab of where the answers were. And it freaked him out. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, my one of my schools had that same feature where all the... It wasn't like the entire school, but it was everything in the classroom was attached like to a master computer that the professor had or the teacher had. And he would mess with people. Like, people would mess with the teacher because everyone knew what his favorite sport team was. So they put on a PowerPoint like, your team sucks, and you just see as they deleted the sucks part and said the best ever. So yeah, I know exactly what your brother was dealing with.
See, if my school had something like that, maybe they could have stopped people from watching porn in class. But nope, they didn't even care.
My school never could have got away with that because the computers were too old to do anything. They had been updated since 2007.
I mean,
damn.
I'm not even joking. There were times where they had to move the due dates of certain projects because half the class couldn't get logged into the computers. It took that long.
Oh, that's bad.
All right, Thank you for the story, Hack. GameCubeDude, you were talking about how you had one more story.
Well, more like 1.5. It was kind of continuation of what some of the crazy stuff that happened in my school. Okay. Another time, I walked into a bathroom during lunchtime, and 3 people, at least, are in there. 2 of them are vaping. Another one is smoking weed. Just smoking weed during lunch hours. I'm like, you fucking people. And there was like one of those sprinklers, a smoke detector above him. So that thing had to be broken. It had to have been. So I was like, you're a fucking idiot. Have you ever looked up? Just some of the things people did, like, would make your head hurt. But anyway, that's not the worst. This is the most intense thing I can ever think of that ever happened in my school, as far as I could remember. So, one time during my history class, we had a substitute come in. She was fairly young, looked like it. I don't think she was any older than 25. She was a young African woman. Very nice looking, actually, I gotta say. So, my class, my school, everybody in it, they would try to mess with substitute teachers while they could. But sometimes it just went way too far. So there was this one guy who, I'm gonna call him Herman. That's not his real name, obviously. Nobody's fucking named Herman.
Hello, Herman, if you're watching.
Yeah, Herman, if you're watching, you're a fucking idiot. Okay, so Herman is, like, talking to his friends, like, okay, how are we gonna mess with her? How are we gonna mess with her? I'm like, you fucking idiots, don't do anything. So, eventually, like, I'm just trying to concentrate on my work, and I'm not really paying attention to what they're doing. I'm like, they're gonna do something stupid anyway. So, just me thinking back on this, it was just fucking retarded. Okay. So, eventually I realized they got a plan. I'm just like, okay, what are they gonna do? So Herman, like, as she's helping a student, in a few rows up, few desk rows up. So Herman walks up behind her and smacks her ass. Just gets right up behind her. He's like, oops, sorry, my
Herman
hand
the
slipped.
Legend.
What? That's not a fucking legend. That's a fucking idiot.
I don't condone it, but that's still hilarious.
That's
hilarious.
That
crap is hilarious.
Okay, so I'm just sitting there, like, half the class is just like, are you insane? Like, you are going to get fucking expelled. But, she's just like, she was more professional than she needed to be, I would say. She didn't really make any remarks. She was just like, oh, okay. And, they just went about their business. But I didn't see him in class the next few days, so I'm almost positive he got suspended for what he did. Like, literally, that is assault. You should be expelled for that. But somehow, he managed to get away with just a suspension.
There is no
Okay,
excuse
let me
for
just
that.
say this. If that would have happened, I would have laughed my butt off, and then I would have expected her to bitch slap him right back.
I wish she had. Like, that would he earned it at that point.
Oh my gosh, he is an idiot.
This dude had, like, a reputation of doing dumb shit, so I can't say I'm all that surprised that he decided, like, oh, this is gonna be funny. But the fact that this is assault. This is classified as assault. You could have ruined yourself doing this. Was it worth it? Would it have been worth the lols? Would it like a sexual assault charge on your resume be worth it? I don't think so. I don't.
It kind of feels it's like a huge vice versa of, like, having a thought that teachers might do something bad to kids, but then it goes, like, complete reverse. Like,
where they're doing something bad or where the kids are doing something bad to them.
Mm-hmm. Like, it feels like a complete flip. Like, for me, substitute teachers sometimes. Oh yeah, actually, I kind of have a tiny story, but it's just like what kind of happened.
Okay.
Can I wait? So it went. So heck. Can I go first? I think it's going Luke, me, then you, Heck.
I didn't know.
I think he needs to, like, he has a little mini story to add on to this subject.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's,
yeah.
let Hack
Ye-
continue.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just because you reminded me of something that I want to tell now.
All right, keep it in your mind.
All right, so there was a news that I got notified when I was at church, and my English teachers left a lung partially collapsed, and I felt really bad, and they were gone for 2 weeks, and also practically I can't really turn in any missing assignments that I had during the time because, of course, they're gone, and the substitute teachers, they're really fucking weird. Like, during the 2 weeks.
How?
Like-
Weird how?
Okay, like, a few substitute teachers, they were creepy in some form or fashion. They kept calling the girls,
Like flirting with the girls kind of creepy, or let's gather around the campfire kids creepy.
kind of both.
Oh my.
The- and I mean, he kept calling the girls cute, and he kept telling these weird stories. Something
How
like,
old was he?
I don't know.
I'm just
Like,
imagining like a 50 or 60-year-old.
They
Ugh.
that the substitute teacher does look old though, and that's the part that made me really freaked out. And I mean, I didn't hear much detail because I was just trying to do my work, trying to avoid the weird shenanigans in the background. But from what I've heard from my friends, the substitute teachers, they were fucking weird. They put out completely random topics, like of him always talking to girls and just randomly talking back at kids.
Like, how did he talk to girls exactly?
Like, they think of it as like they're the cutest people in the world. Kind of thing.
Oh, okay. That raises red flags. I mean, if a teacher says like, "Hey, that dress looks cute today," I mean, that's fine. That's whatever. But it's like, you're the cutest thing in the world. From like a 50 or 60-year-old man, I'm gonna be like, bad touch. Walking the opposite way.
FBI, open up!
Allow me. FBI, open up!
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay. That's kind of pretty much it. But one of the last things I can add is sometimes kids are really terrible. One of them made a little bit of fun from the English teacher's left lung partially collapsed. They're like, "Oh no, my left lung partially collapsed."
Oh,
Fucking
wow.
hell,
They
dude.
were mocking their teacher for having a lung collapse.
partially collapsed, but that was fucking terrible.
That's pretty sick.
That is terrible.
yeah.
That's terrible.
Kids are assholes these days.
like-
Why are kids so evil?
I know, and like, dude, I understand you want to be funny, but that's just terrible.
That's
Like,
not funny.
yeah, they're literally my favorite teacher. They have this great sense of humor. Well, not like the biggest sense of humor, but they always manage to find something that can always make me and the other kids laugh. And they always try to teach life lessons too, because they always want students to actually succeed. But man, I just don't like that. The only thing that I kind of did unintentionally is that at one day when there was a sub, okay, I went in the room. The room was fucking stinky. Like it feels so dense and hot. And then
I have a similar story to that, but continue.
okay, but then I sit down and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, I hate the smell. And then more kids are coming in. Like there are a majority of kids, so this pretty much made this a better experience. I unintentionally said out loud, "Oh man, it's so hot and dense and stinking out here," and that kid isn't even here yet. And that kid I was referring to is the one who made fun of the teacher. And everybody fucking laughs. Let me tell you this. That kid is tall and fat. African American. And that pretty much made this a whole lot funnier. Because when the moment that kid went in, everybody starts laughing.
Oh my god.
You better be glad he never found out it was you who roasted him. Heck, imagine if he sat on you. You'd probably suffocate.
GameCubeDude, let me tell you this. He stepped on my foot. It fucking hurts. It felt like 100-pound.
It had to be
stomping on
300 at least, right?
I don't know.
You should have, when he stepped on your foot, you should have been like, damn, bitch, lay off the jelly donuts. How can your own feet hold you up?
Like,
What if I stepped on your foot and you rolled down the stairs? You'd probably break down the wall.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Good one, Zeke.
Okay.
All right. I won't pick on this fat kid anymore because I don't know him. I don't know how fat he actually is. But if he hurt your foot that bad, and if he was that nasty, I don't really feel bad.
But hey, you know what?
What?
After this episode's done, I'll probably show the episode to my friends, and they will probably laugh even harder because I told it out loud in public. All right.
Well, there's one more story about stinky rooms.
Let Nomad. Go
All
on.
right, Nomad, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, this is one I've told you guys before, but I haven't said it publicly before, so this is gonna be good. It's one morning, freshman year, just close. It's close to the end of the year. We're outside, the portable's waiting to go in. Next thing you know, the fire alarm goes off, and there were actual fire trucks there, so you're like, what is going on? So I go outside, people are soaked. I mean, it's the sprinklers, you can imagine why. Then we found out later what happened. Turns out, some fucking dumbass thought it'd be a good idea to take one of the locks off the lockers, put it around the sprinkler, and then pull it in the computer hall.
What? What can I do to amuse myself today? I know, I'll ruin the computer lab. Oops, all the sprinklers turned on. Oops, I'm in trouble.
It was the business. And you want to know, to prove how cheap the school was, they didn't even bother to place computers after that.
You're kidding me.
I mean, surprisingly, they still worked, but still, come on.
Oh my gosh, I was not prepared for that.
That is so dumb. I thought the kids in my school were dumb.
I mean, I even knew the guy. He went to my primary school, and, well, he was... Most of those guys weren't known for being the sharpest tools in the shed anyways.
Oh, he's a tool, right?
That's sad.
Still, though, it really goes to show these stories, just the type of people that I went to high school with, and why I'm both glad about that, and at the same time why I kind of miss it too.
Right. So Luke,
I mean,
go
it was.
ahead, sorry.
I mean, it was great. We got the rest of the day off. This was the morning right before class, so we didn't have to do a goddamn thing. So at the very least, there was that.
Victory.
So Luke, you were saying about a stinky room?
Okay, so this actually happened back in my middle school. So I was part of I think some technology student association, TSA, if that's still a thing. So I was
familiar.
doing that for 7th grade year in high school. It wasn't really my thing, but one day we're just at school, working on our projects and stuff, and then all of a sudden we hear a loud bang, like an explosion. Like everybody stopped because it was so loud. Like we heard it. Like I think everybody in the school heard it. So like, what the hell was that? What just happened? So the teacher gets up and he's like, "Hold up, everybody! I'm gonna go check what it is." So he runs to like the other corridor, and because like my school had like there was the main building in the front, and then there were 2 side buildings. Well, not side buildings, side connections to like the other classrooms and stuff. So we were in the left one. We were in the left wing. And on the right wing, on the other side of the building, a water pipe had exploded. And I'm not talking like a little water pipe. I'm talking like the main pipe itself exploded. Oh. So the teacher's like, call your parents. This is canceled for today. So, we go home. And our parents receive emails and calls and stuff saying, like, the school's gonna be closed for 2 days. And we're like, fuck yeah, dude, no school 2 days. But we come back, and the place has not been finished aerating yet. There's still, like, dampness, and the walls are soaked. Some of the... It smelled horrible, too. Like, the ceiling, part of the ceiling in some places was, like, it almost looked like it was rotting. So they had fans all over the place. They were doing everything they could. Well, probably not actually, but
everything they could within their budget.
Yeah, any classroom you went into smelled like hot garbage with a dead skunk in it. Like, it was genuinely sickening. It was just. It was the worst time in school for us ever. Can you imagine trying to take a test and it smells like fucking Hack's fat friend farted up in the room? Well, not your friend, I apologize.
Trust me, I know I sat behind someone that smelt like they didn't bathe for the entire semester last year.
Oh, yeah. So you know what it's like.
Yes.
But imagine that, but completely unescapable.
Oh.
It was horrible. We had to deal with the smell for like 4 days before it finally completely went away.
That sucks.
Oh, it was foul. It was foul. So
Man,
yeah.
I wish you guys can be, like, excused for a week, like 2 days or 3 or something. That's not enough. It's part of the fucking building.
Yeah. You know, I don't remember all that clearly to this day, but I'm almost convinced I saw mold growing in some places. So yeah, it was bad.
You might have mesothelioma now.
Well, it's been a nice 20 years of my life. I guess I'm gonna die soon.
How'd you get this disease?
Alright,
What's your treatment
sorry.
options?
It's too expensive. Can't
Yeah.
afford it.
Yep, they used their whole budget to clean up that, all 100 of it.
More like all 10 cents in bubblegum wrappers.
Hey, Luke, your Patreon has more than that.
That's true.
You have a bigger budget than your middle school.
Woo. Take that.
So I got a couple stories to round this off, unless anyone else wants to jump in.
I don't really have anything. I mean, some minor things, like the time someone tried to light the cafeteria on fire.
What?
Okay, minor.
Did you begin that
Jesus.
sentence with some minor things?
Please go ahead.
Tell me I heard that wrong, Nomad.
I mean, it's just I honestly don't know what to say.
Minor arson.
Other than that, there was woodshop class when it happened. Went outside. It was winter, so it was fucking freezing. Just go into the cafeteria the next day. There's just this big scorch mark next to the trash can.
Oh.
This is what you think is a minor thing?
Well, I get it. He
It goes
doesn't know
to-
any information about it, so he can't really.
It goes to show the type of people that went to my high school. Or the time someone apparently threatened to shoot up the place, and there were cops everywhere, and half the school stayed home.
Oh, that happened to us twice. Well,
Yeah, thankfully nothing bad ever actually happened, but still.
actually, you know what? That's not completely true. Somebody framed somebody else for threatening to shoot up the school, which was completely true, even though they restricted the guy from coming to school for about a week until they got it fully investigated and stuff, which was it was a disaster of an event. Then there was another time where somebody found a suspicious package on the school grounds. So we had to go into lockdown. They called in a bomb squad and everything. Unfortunately, I was not within seeing view of what was happening because the parking lot was on the other side of the campus. So I never got to see what that was. I don't even remember what was in the bag, to be honest. I think it was maybe some bowling balls or God knows what. But yeah,
the things
that,
I bring to
that
school
happened.
every day. All right, so I got a story. This one's a little different. This was a trip I had with my football team.
Okay.
Well, what happened was it was on the other side of the state of Colorado. So we had to drive on this charter bus for 4 or 5 hours. It was a lot of fun, and we got to play against the team, And then the JV and freshman squad, they got to stay behind. And I played on the JV squad as well. And my brother played the freshman squad, so I stayed with him as well. And it was like, hey, I get to stick around and just mess around with my friends. And like all the people that wanted to stay, even if they didn't play, they could still stay. So everyone stayed. I found out later, we all stayed like 4 or 5 players per room. We found out afterwards that one of my friends, they decided they wanted to fill out the entire bathtub with the ice cubes from you know how they give you free ice cubes outside your rooms.
Oh yeah.
They took several buckets, and they even came over to our room saying, "Hey, are you using your ice bucket?" And we said no. It's like, "Can we have it?" I'm like, "Okay." So we gave it to them. Found out they were filling up their entire bathroom with ice cubes. And then B, they decided to throw a towel into the microwave to warm it up. Caught the towel on fire.
What the fuck did you think was gonna happen? It's a microwave and it's a fucking towel.
And then they spent the next 3 hours trying to fan the smoke away from the sprinklers.
Did it work?
Yes, we did not have an alarm.
Oh my god.
They ended up having like 2 hours of sleep.
Serves them right. Oh, hey! I got a great idea. Let's fill up a tub full of ice cubes. Yeah, sure, fine. That's all fun and games. Hey, let's put a towel in the microwave. Are you stupid? Yup! Slam! 5 hours of microwaving time. Okay, it exploded.
Well, kids, what did we learn today? High school students and middle school students are fucking idiots.
It needs to be a law that everybody under 18 cannot be allowed to use a microwave. That needs to happen at this point. Public safety is in danger.
But my pizza pops.
Fuck your pizza pops.
I'd starve to death without them, though.
Fuck your pizza pops.
But
Lives.
though.
If people are stupid enough to put towels in the microwave, they'll probably find some shiny, metal or something. It's like, ooh, microwaving material. Ooh, wait, this is actually plutonium. Boom! We all die.
Earlier that night as well, we played in the pool as well. And that was a blast. Like, we had one person sitting on one of those...
Blast.
Yeah, pretty much like the
God.
microwave. One guy was sitting on a plastic pool chair, and we all collectively lifted him up and then threw him into the pool. Which, now that I think about it, was the most dangerous thing we could have done. But at the time, we thought it was the most badass team-building thing ever.
Oh my... Wait, who did you throw again?
Another member of the team.
Was he like the dickhead of the team? Did he deserve it?
He actually did. He was, like, that guy.
Okay, well then I don't feel bad for him.
No, he came out just fine. Like, it was.
See, that's the
actually his
thing. When
idea.
it comes down to it, if you're doing it to that guy, we all know that guy, like Captain Lardnuts from Hacks Class. I don't really feel bad for him.
Okay.
Now, if he drowned, that'd be another thing.
I think we had at least like 1 or 2 other players in the pool just in case. Like, we were actually prepared for this.
Okay, well, at least you're taking precautions with your pranks.
I mean, is it really a prank if he wanted to be thrown into the pool?
Wait,
Wait, he
tall
wanted
was
to
the
be
pool,
thrown
though?
in?
Yeah, he was sitting in the chair, and he's like, hey, guys, throw me in the pool in the chair. So okay, cool.
Well, that kind of negates a big portion of your story.
No, I said that they...
Because originally it sounded like you guys did this without him really knowing you were going to do it.
Oh, he knew about it. He wanted it to happen.
Okay.
Wait, how tall was the pool though?
It was like
Or how big?
6 feet was the deepest spot.
Jesus Christ.
I have no idea what that is. I use millimeters.
Give me a second. I'll
and
try
meters.
to figure out what that is for you.
It's pretty tall.
It's about as tall as I am.
Oh,
1
yeah, so
point-
that's fairly deep.
1.82 meters.
Yeah, that's fairly deep.
Fairly deep. I don't think I would be able to swim that far.
6 feet?
Yeah.
You can't swim 6 feet down.
I'm not that much of a good swimmer.
You need to touch up on your swimming, boy. If we ever like get caught in like a river scenario, you're gonna be first to die. Like, we gotta help this boy while we can.
I mean, I took professional swimming lessons, so I'm okay.
I took
only got
swimming
to.
lessons, so I'm okay.
That's one thing I actually like to do when I was at my grandparents' house. There are lots of rocks in the water. Some of them were fossils, so I'd go swimming and pick out the fossils.
That's badass.
That is pretty cool.
We only had like 4 courses of no, not courses. We only had like 4 days of us learning how to swim, and that's pretty much it.
You know, this does remind me of like a mini field trip my school went on one time. We literally went down the road to a gym, and they were doing like they had like some swimming type stuff going on. Essentially, it was like some kind of obstacle course, but we got to use these machines that like you guys know like the military type automatic swimmers. They're like engines in the water, and they propel you forward. We got to use like some of those things. Obviously, they weren't military grade, but they were so cool to use nonetheless.
Nice.
That is pretty cool.
Very.
That's one good thing that came out of my school.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure as much as we hated school, we at the very least have a few good memories of it.
Absolutely.
Like the time we had a snowball fight in the halls.
Oh, that's
What?
amazing.
Nomad! You keep saying, oh, I don't have that many stories about my school. Yeah, you've thrown in arson, you've thrown in attempted murder, and now you're throwing in snowball fights in the halls? We could never get away with crap like this in my fucking school. Start talking! You clearly have the most interesting stories. Start fucking talking!
I had no idea. I guess it's just the type of school I went to. I've just been kind of desensitized to this type of stuff.
Your school is the coolest school. Okay, well, not the
No,
coolest,
it sounds
but your
like-
school's the most
No,
interesting
I
school
told-
I've ever heard of.
He
I
sounds
told
like he
you,
was
it's
in
a
constant danger, and he repressed these memories, and now
This
we're bringing
sounds
them
like
up.
constant danger. Zeke! Arson!
Exactly, constant danger.
Remember when he was talking about that? Not 10 minutes ago!
I didn't realize
there's-
that Nomad was a UA.
I mean, unfortunately, it's been shut down, but there's an entire Twitter page dedicated to posting literally every single everything wrong with my school and
Tell
every
me you
single.
saved some of those tweets.
Unfortunately, I mean, some other people posted them. I could always show you those, but unfortunately, the Twitter page was deleted.
Oh, that's bull. I would have been all over that Twitter page. I'm gonna like, what is Nomad hiding from us? What else did he survive? Oh, look, they resurrected a dinosaur. Why didn't you bring that up on the podcast, Nomad? Huh?
Hey. In Nomad's defense, if it's something he really has to deal with every day and it really desensitizes him, then I can't completely blame him for it. If it's something he really has to deal with every day.
Well, yeah, I dealt with stupid people every day as well, but even still, there's interesting stuff to talk about. Noma, I feel like your perception of outlandish may be a little altered, or a little fragile, or no,
That's
broken.
Yeah, like I said, going to a school like that, you just get kind of used to a lot of this stuff.
You still gotta try and remember this stuff. Like, this is great conversation material.
It really is.
Indeed. I don't know, maybe if I go back to my high school one time, maybe it'll all come back to me. I still have friends that go there, so I could always do that.
Ask them what's been going on recently. We need to make
Yeah,
this like
I
a
should-
reoccurring segment, Nomad's Tales of his high school. We're gonna
down
make
for
a
that.
fucking fortune.
Maybe Chris has some interesting
we're gonna
stories.
bring
He
him
went to
in.
the
Oh
same
my
high school as
God.
me.
We're bringing them in.
This needs
Did you
to
guys
be
go
a
to the same high school?
Yeah, I told you we met in grade 10.
I thought you guys met in college. My bad.
No.
This
I
needs
gotta
to be
ask. I gotta ask Chris for more stories of this podcast.
Maybe
I
that could
mean-
be
I
like
mean,
a
of
part
his
two.
school.
Miniseries.
Either that, or we just do it on a stream or something.
Either works.
Ooh.
I want to hear more about this school. I want to hear what else Nomad's hiding from us.
All right, so I'm going to tell one more story, and then we're just going to call this episode a quits. How about that?
All right, sounds good.
Okay, so just like putting everything to end, Luke and Nomad, does your school have the tradition of senior pranks?
Yeah, but they had to be cut down a little bit over the years.
And Nomad, I want to know what your senior prank was.
Everyone
Wait,
listen
we never-
closely.
We never had any senior pranks. Everyone was just like, fuck it, I'm done with school. Half the students didn't even bother to show up half the time.
So they bother to almost set the place on fire, but they don't bother with a senior prank.
Senior prank!
Grade 12 is kind of when they learn to grow the fuck up.
Senioritis.
You can't have one more piece of fun? Yeah, clearly.
Anyway, so our senior prank got us in so much trouble that we almost did not graduate as like a group.
Oh.
So it was like the traditional stuff, like they got like paper mache, just threw it all over the school. Like what happens is, if for those that don't know what's going on or aren't in high school yet, let me explain real quick. So what a senior prank is after the janitors are done and after the seniors had left for their final day, most of the time seniors get to leave school 2 weeks early. After the last day, the seniors leave and then come back around 3 or 4 in the morning. The janitors let them in under the belief that everything will be just a prank and nothing bad will happen. Like no destruction, it's just some kind of crazy prank. Like for example, one of my schools, they decided to take a car, drive it in the hallway, and then park it there and then removed all the wheels.
What?
That's hilarious.
And
Damn,
so
my senior prank doesn't even cap that. Fuck me. Continue, please.
My class, they decide, like the jackasses that they were. Like I wasn't going to participate because I was tired and had a job to do afterwards. Anyway, they came in. They trashed the place. I mean, seriously, trashed it.
Oh.
Like they went into the library. They flipped all the computers downwards.
Oh no!
It didn't cause any damage to the computers, thankfully. Actually, no, it did cause some damage. They caused damage. The hallway was trashed. And then to top it off, they went into individual classrooms, which was a no-no. No one was allowed to go into classrooms. They somehow broke into a classroom of one teacher that everyone disliked, and someone took a crap on her desk.
Oh, good lord.
Did they light it on fire?
No.
That would have been great.
It was considered the worst senior prank ever. My brother told me later that they were not allowed to do a senior prank in his grade because of it.
I wonder why. That is fucking great. I can't lie. That is fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
That was I mean, it was horrible, but amazing at the same time.
Exactly.
I could tell you guys about the senior prank my class did. It's got nothing on this, but it was still funny nonetheless.
Okay, go ahead.
So there's always, like, in my school, there's always been this kind of like rivalry between the different grades. Like, it's more or less an undertone, I'd say.
Oh yeah, it was like that in my school. There was always a lot of hate from the upper grades against the Niners, and when I got to grade 12, I could understand why.
Yeah, freshmen are annoying. Freshmen, stop being freshmen, I'll just say that. So anyways, in my school, there was the junior parking lot. Some juniors were allowed to take their cars to school, but it was like a lottery system because the lot they had was really, really small. So there were only about like 30 cars in there at a time. So for the senior prank, we got a ton of birdseed, and we poured it all over that parking lot when classes already started. So the juniors are inside, the classrooms and everything. We got birdseed on some of the car. I didn't actually take part in it, but they put birdseed on the cars and on the lot, all over the lot. And by the time the day was done, there was bird shit everywhere on those cars. Everywhere. I am telling you, it was disgusting, but it was freaking hysterical.
Oh, speaking of senior
Like,
pranks.
wait.
no,
Actually,
sorry.
one of my friends actually had a car in that lot, and he was salty. Like, I mean, salty. He was so mad that his car was just covered in bird shit. It was great. It was just fucking great. I gotta say.
All right, so speaking of senior pranks, there was this one school in Colorado. It was like a couple years after I graduated, a totally different school. Apparently, some people were charged for this one. They released barn animals into the school.
What? Barn animals?
Yes.
Where the fuck? What farmer let them do that?
Okay, the thing about Colorado, there was 3 distinct parts of Colorado. There's a desert part, that's the other side of the Rocky Mountains. There's the Rockies, and then there's a, like, pretty much Kansas Part 2. I think this happened in Kansas Part 2.
Okay.
So it's like a lot of farmland, like that area. But
They,
yeah,
they,
I think
they must have like stolen the animals. There's no way a farmer would have approved this.
either that or someone's dad agreed to it, who happened to have some farm animals. And one of the,
Reminds me of something that happened at a different school in the same general area for senior
God.
prank.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So one night, oh no, I think it's late at the night. The school was still open. The office was still open. And well, I'm not sure if anyone was actually still there. I think maybe the janitors were. It's Canada, so there's a bunch of candid geese, and well, they got rounded up a bunch of geese and got them into the school somehow.
Oh my god.
See, that you could get charged for because geese are fucking dangerous, dude.
especially
Like, you
Canadian
wouldn't guess
geese,
it, but geese have, like, sharp teeth and they can get aggressive.
the Canadian geese, they come down to Colorado for the wintertime. Those things are vicious.
I know, exactly. Like, you can see, like, there's videos online of geese, like, attacking dogs. Geese are fucking vicious, dude.
That's scary.
That's how we plan to take over the world.
An
Oh my
army of
God.
geese.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
We'll gather up all the geese. We'll put them in front of a giant big screen, and we'll just play clips of the Third Reich, and eventually we'll have an army of Nazi geese.
And you know what? Judging by Nomad's school, the people are crazy enough to do that too.
It wasn't my school. It was a different
No,
school.
I mean just in general, like some of the random crap that happened in your school.
Yeah, I could have seen it happening at my school, but it didn't.
All right, so I think it's
God.
time to put this episode to a close.
This was great.
Yeah, this was an
It's
awesome
great.
episode.
It's great.
This might be our best episode yet.
We say that. We
Indeed.
say that every time.
I fucking love this episode.
Anyway, Hack, where can the fine people find you?
Okay, so, alright guys, so you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, yes, Nomad, I said Instagram, and YouTube,
You.
and that's pretty much it. It could either be Hackgame X294 or just Hackgame. More likely Hackgame X294.
All right, Nomad, where can the fine people find you?
You can find me on YouTube. I'm _nomadic, or on or on Twitter at nomadicbugs87, or is it 087? I don't remember, but you'll find out.
Luke, where can the fine people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at GameCubeDude100. You can also find me on YouTube under the usernames GameCubeDude100 and GameCubeDude200.
All right, and you can find me at ZYoshiMan on YouTube and Twitter. Most of the time on YouTube, I just stream once a month. That's pretty much what the channel is designated for. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening / watching or whatever you do with this podcast.
You listen to it.
Well, some people might watch the static image.
Yeah, just sit there for like
Yeah,
an hour
just
just
admiring
staring at the art.
They just
admiring
mute
Hack's
it
art.
because we're like annoying, obnoxious people. They're like, oh, I wish they stopped. Let me look at the
Eventually,
art.
someone's eventually someone's gonna make an art gallery just full of Hack's thumbnails.
Ew.
Oh, God,
Heck, they're good thumbnails.
stop saying
You always
Hack.
gotta downplay your own art.
I don't know, I just like to. But
To be
but they're not
continued
that-
next episode.
Imagine someone actually doing that, opening up an art gallery dedicated just to the thumbnails for this podcast.
Oh my
Heck,
God.
go to DeviantArt before somebody steals the thumbnails. Or upload them on Tumblr or wherever you go.
Okie dokie.
Anyway, see you
Tumblr?
later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.